Today's episode of the Outline Podcast is brought to you by Studio. Studio wants to revolutionize the way people see headphones as not just a tech device, but also an accessory. Currently, the headphones market can offer you one of two things: style or tech. Studio wants to bridge that gap while offering you both at fraction of the price of the most popular headset manufacturers in America. You can get your pair by going to www.studio.com. And since you're a listener of the Outline Podcast, you can use discount code THEOUTLINE to get 15% off of your purchase. So check out Studio today. Let's start the show.
The Outline with Kevin Dwayne, Kevin Dwayne, The Outline, with Kevin Dwayne, The Outline, with Kevin Dwayne, This is the Outline with Kevin Dwayne, Kevin Dwayne, with Kevin Dwayne.
Hey guys, this is the Outline Podcast, a weekly discussion of what's trending in pop culture, LGBT culture, and a piece of encouragement for everyone. Thanks for joining me for another show. Did you guys peep last week's episode of Atlanta? Oh my God, the episode was entitled Teddy Perkins, and it was brilliant while also creepy and uncomfortable to watch, but I couldn't turn away from it. It was like, it wasn't funny, but it was also very engaging and just, it was such a trippy ass episode. It was very reminiscent of Get Out, which is great because Lakeith Stanfield was in Get Out. And so having him be in a movie with a situation that kind of had a weird premise of like, what the fuck is going on? It was an amazing watch. And there were certain nods in the show. Like there was a part where the character Teddy Perkins, which was played by the phenomenal Donald Glover. Like, give him all the awards. He needs all the awards. He's a brilliant writer, actor, artist. He's just a fucking creative. But he plays this character in whiteface that's very reminiscent of Michael Jackson. But there's also nods to other people as well, like Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye and childhood stars, people who grew up in the limelight. And it was so well done. But there was a part where he takes a picture of Darius, which is Lakeith Stanfield's character. And he's like, oh yeah, I don't really like photos. And I saw that as like a nod to Get Out, because the whole premise, if you haven't seen Get Out by now, is when you take a picture of them, the flash pretty much resets them to realize that they're trapped inside of, someone else's, they're trapped in their body, but, in the sunken place and all that shit. But it was a really, really good episode. And it was more than just a show. It dealt with certain themes like childhood fame and race and child abuse. And it was really, really good. And it was so reminiscent of the Jackson family. But there were certain things that were said in the show that let you know that Teddy Perkins and his brother, who was the actual artist or celebrity, they existed in the same world as Michael Jackson. So it lets you know that though we're being pretty spot on with this whole Villalago and this whole whiteface situation, we want to let you know that it's still separate. But it was a really trippy episode. And I think it was a good follow-up to the week before, because the week before was funny as hell. They had the barbershop episode, and that is probably my favorite episode of all time of Atlanta. My second favorite episode of all time was when they did all the commercials with like Arizona tea, where it was like, oh, the price is on the bottle, and then the Swisher Sweets, how no one actually smokes Swisher Sweets. They empty them and put their weed in them. And that was a dope ass episode, but I love them. But last week's show was very, I would say, Emmy worthy. Give them all the awards for that show, because I was reading all these articles about the set, and apparently Donald Glover stayed that way the entire day, and he did not, he was that character all day. He would not break character at all, even when they weren't filming. And they said it was very weird. It was odd, but he played it so well, because there was a certain creepiness and a certain attention to detail that he had while playing that character. He's just brilliant. He's a brilliant dude, and I love seeing Black men especially being able to be, well, as we would once call weird or alternative and different. We're not one-trick ponies. We don't always have to be thugged out. We don't always have to be a certain way or the way that we're painted by racism and whiteness. It's nice to see people really push their limits and their depths. And it was a great episode. So I just wanted to mention that. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out and let me know your thoughts. Tweet me at me, the Outline Podcast, or the World of Kevin. Let me know. Did you watch it? Did you enjoy it? Do you plan on watching it? Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear about it. Moving on from that. So I am having Cardi B fever right now. Like, this whole episode could be about her, but I don't want to worry y'all out. I love her so much. Like, I absolutely love her. And I'm not even a bandwagon fan. I have loved her since the beginning. She was mildly annoying when she first came out on Love and Hip Hop. I was like, okay, this girl's crazy, but she's funny as fuck, so I'm going to keep watching. I liked her through the mixtapes, but this glow up that's happening right now, it feels like she's like a part of my family. Like, she's like my little sister, and I'm rooting for her. I am so happy for everything that is going on in her life right now. Like, she is having the best week ever, if you ask me, because it's been wonderful. So let's draw back. She released Invasion of Privacy on Friday. When I tell you that album is everything, if you haven't heard it yet, I don't know why you're even listening to the show, because you're obviously not someone that I can even fuck with like that if you don't listen to Cardi B. No, I'm just joking, kind of. I know I have a vast demographic, ages 24 to 30, 38, I believe, is a demographic for this show. So I get it. Some of y'all ain't rocking with Cardi, but you should, because it's a good time. So the album is very much a collection of singles. It's very well done. The sequencing is great, and it's just every song on there can be a single. I kid you not. I cannot wait for this summer, because between Big and Head, She Bad, Money Bags, oh my God, Drip. She has so many good ass songs on this album where you're just like, okay, I'm going to be a bird all summer. I cannot wait to be at the pool party in my little ass draws that I call swimming trunks. I'm hyped. I'm just ready to twerk everywhere, like she said, in the church, in the front seat of my car, at work. I'm ready to twerk everywhere. Like, I love her so much. So not only is this album good, she has great features. She has Kalani, she has SZA, Chance the Rapper, Migos, of course, J Balvin, and it's a great album. I don't skip one track. Even the songs that I didn't like at first, which I think was Be Careful. I didn't care for Be Careful. I said that last week's show. I like it now because of how it fits in the album, so I play it. Also, after the second verse, she says, "You make me sick, nigga." I feel that in my shondo. Like, I felt that on a very spiritual level when she said it that way. I'm just like, yeah, I'm here for this. Like, I'm absolutely here for it. So, yeah, if you haven't heard the album, please, please, please listen to it. It's so, so good. And on top of that, she was on SNL. She did a great job on both of her performances. She revealed her pregnancy finally. And I crack up because everyone kept saying, I knew she was pregnant. I knew she was pregnant. I knew she was pregnant. I'm sure she knew you all knew she was pregnant. It wasn't about you guys knowing. It was about her keeping something to herself. Like, when you're in that type of limelight and you have that type of fame, there's certain things that you want to tell people. There's certain things that you want to reveal. It's not a matter of, oh yeah, I'm just trying to hide it from y'all. She wasn't thinking about y'all. She just wanted to reveal it in her own time. And I think SNL was so, so smart. It was so smart. And it was a beautiful, classy ass moment. Like, damn it, I love her. So then she did interviews on Hot 97 and Breakfast Club. They both were really, really entertaining. It's weird because even with her dialect and how she talks and how she processes, she still has a essence to her that's just so damn dope, and I can just watch her all goddamn day. And then to top it off, she was on fucking Jimmy Fallon as a co-host. Hilarious. I need her to go into comedy. That's what I need immediately. She's dope. So let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on Cardi B's glow up? Tweet Outline Podcast or use the hashtag or do both, the Outline Podcast. Share your thoughts with me. Are you here for Cardi's glow up? Or are you still not? You still ain't been convinced? You need some more convincing. Let me know. So speaking of SNL, Saturday's episode was really, really good. Without a doubt, the funniest skit was Black Jeopardy, where Chadwick Boseman, who hosted, reprised his role as T'Challa, aka Black Panther. But this time, he was a contestant who doesn't quite understand blackness in America. It made for a hilarious segment. There's this whole thing about potato salad that will have you dying. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It was super, super good. Over the weekend, there was also a video from the champagne problematic poppy himself, Drake. He dropped a new single called Nice for What, and the video featured some of the hottest women in the industry, including Rashida Jones, Tracy Ellis Ross, Issa Rae, Misty Copeland, Yara Shahidi, who I love so much, and Tiffany Haddish, who is also a fave of mine. While the video was very, very beautiful and I love the visuals, I'm still not completely sold on the song. Like, it's cool, don't get me wrong. I've just not wanted to add it to a playlist yet. And I've kind of felt that way about Drake's music for a minute now. There's like this weird culture vulture thing that Drake does that just bothers me, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I feel like he hops on these different trends. And I don't know. I don't always buy it as authentic. That's just my kind of viewpoint on it. I like Drake. I liked him more in his earlier years, all the way through, like, I want to say, a little bit after Take Care. Maybe if you're reading this, it's too late, is like kind of where I peaked out with Drake. Like, I like him, but it's kind of like whatever for me now. So I'm not as quick to be like, oh, this Drake song is so tight. I don't know. A lot of times I can just kind of go without it. The song itself uses a Lauryn Hill sample, which is X Factor, which is funny because Cardi B also used, she got a clearance for X Factor for Be Careful. And I was like, that's funny how they're both using that song this year. But it has been 20 years since Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And that's crazy as hell to me. But whatever. The sample felt oddly placed because it's against a bounce track. But it makes sense though, because in New Orleans, they commonly put like ballads or songs that you wouldn't expect to be on bounce tracks. They do that all the time, so it makes sense. But whatever, people seem to be loving it. I'm sure it will do very well because most Drake tracks do. Drake appeals to the masses because he's lovely and light-skinned. I'm saying that jokingly, but he appeals to the masses because he's lovely and light-skinned. And yeah. Also, this is yet another time where Big Freedia's voice is included on a track but isn't visible in the supporting clip. And I don't know, like, I get it from a standpoint of like credits and getting money, but damn, like, can y'all like stop taking from gay men and, you know, give them a little bit more credit? Than, I mean, the check is cute. Even Big Freedia said that. Like, he told them, Big Freedia told Billboard last week, people want to use bounce music as a part of their music, but when it comes to proper recognition of me being in the video, that's something that we're steady working towards to make it happen. And I feel like he's being way too nice and PC. Fuck that. Y'all want to take from gay people, but y'all don't want to actually show that you really fuck with us. Like, we do your makeup, we do your hair, we write your songs, we choreograph your fucking videos, we style you, we do all this shit, but we can't be in the fucking video. I don't know. I'm starting to feel a certain way about it. But Big Freedia is like, listen, the credits are important, but for me, it's still putting New Orleans on the map. And I'm happy with the check. And I heard that because I'm sure that check is big. Between Formation and now Nice for What? I mean, Big Freedia ain't hurting for shit. But still, like, we need representation too. Like, come on now. Like, stop taking from shit. And that's that culture vulture shit I'm telling you about. That's what I mean by culture vulture. It's just like, you hop on whatever's hot, but are you giving proper fucking credit and recognition of where it started and shit like that? So, but Nice for What? I mean, some people are into it. If that's your jam, let me know. Tweet me. Outline Podcast. Instagram, Outline Podcast, all across the board. Use the hashtag. Let me know what you think of Drake's song. Also on the music front, Janelle Monáe dropped another single and video from her upcoming album, or I don't know if it's going to be a movie or what. It's an event, but Dirty Computer is the name of it. And the name of the clip is called Pink, and it's spelled P-Y-N-K. She worked with is Grimes on this song, and the song is dope. The video is dope. It's a very pink video. I loved it, but I'm gonna say this: if that song and video ain't about pussy, I don't even care what the real meaning is, because all I thought about was pussy the entire time I watched the video. It alludes to pussy the whole time. Everything was about pussy. I swear to God, if y'all come back and say it's about fucking unicorns and horses, I'm cussing all y'all out, because nah, that song is about pussy. And I'm loving where she's going with her music. I like that she is giving us more sensuality and sexuality, and she's also liberating herself. For like what, 3 albums, she wore like the uniform, what she called her uniform, her ode to her parents who were both they worked was it white collar jobs, or like they were a part of like the working culture, so that was her ode to them. And then around like Wonderland, that time when she was when Jadina and all them were coming out with their stuff, she started kind of showing more skin and started changing up her look, like with yoga and all that shit. And now she's like, okay, I'm going to give you what I want to give you. Is going to be all over the place. It's just dope. I love where she's going. I love this whole movement. So the album is supposed to come out April 27th, and it's also going to feature Make Me Feel and Django Jane, and the song Pink. And apparently it has contributions from Prince. So I'm definitely going to be checking with that, because I definitely want to hear some of his final work and his final additions to her stuff. And I know they had a really great relationship, so I look forward to see what Miss Monáe is going to bring. So exciting stuff. And finally, an extended trailer for HBO's Fahrenheit 451 was released last week. And this is an adaptation of the classic book by Ray Bradbury. In high school, I loved this book, along with F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby and Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Those were like the dopest books to me. I mean, there was also Lord of the Flies and The Invisible Man and Catcher in the Rye. All those classic books you had to read in high school. I used to love them because they definitely put you in a certain mind frame, and it challenged your thinking and stuff like that. But HBO has created a movie for it, and it's a no-brainer that I'd be watching it because I love the books, and it stars Michael B. Jordan, who is hot off the trails of the record-breaking Black Panther, which just beat motherfucking Titanic. Like, how do you beat Titanic for number 3 movie in America, I believe, after 21 years? Like, what? Oh my God. But Black Panther is the shit, so it is what it is. I mean, the fact that we're still talking about it this far in, Black Panther's the shit. It is what it is. But anyway, back to Fahrenheit 451. It's just like the novel. It imagines a dystopian future in which books are made illegal and firemen burn them to restrict knowledge. Jordan plays Guy Montag, a young fireman who starts to doubt their mission and comes into conflict with his mentor, Fire Captain Beatty, which is played by Chow, never mind. Skip that part. The new trailer shows Montag happily showing a book burning to assembled children, but before long he begins to ask a few too many questions. The movie premieres on HBO May 19th at 8 p.m. Let me know your thoughts. Are you going to be watching this movie? What do you think about Janelle Monáe? What are your thoughts on Drake, Cardi B? Tell me. Tag me, The World of Kevin or The Outline Podcast, and use the hashtag The Outline Podcast. More of the show coming up after this quick message. Hey, hope you're enjoying this episode of the Outline Podcast. You can stream all episodes of the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, Soundcloud, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Libsyn, and KevinDwayne.com. Please be sure to rate, share, and comment on all platforms. And make sure you add to the conversation by using the official hashtag, the Outline Podcast. If you wish to submit a topic or a question to be answered on the show, please send an email to theoutlinepodcast@gmail.com. Today's episode of the Outline Podcast is also brought to you by the LGBT Arts and Culture Music Festival. This music fest is a 4-day, 4-night destination festival catering to professional men, women, and non-binaries in the LGBT plus community. Travelers will enjoy an action-packed weekend consisting of themed parties, live entertainment, celebrity appearances, an all-star comedy night concert, and much more. You can register by going to www.lgbtmusicfest.com or call 404-756-8433. Make sure you let them know that Kevin Dwayne of the Outline Podcast sent you. Let's get back to the show. Are you operating at your full potential? Do you shamelessly self-promote yourself? Do you have confidence that it's unwavering no matter who is around? If you answered no to any of these questions, I beg you to reconsider. Lately, I've been thinking about all the time we waste by dimming our own lights to make other people feel comfortable in their stagnation and being discontent and just pure laziness at times. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit you and it doesn't benefit them. Like, the way I see it is this. We have one life, one short duration, because we don't know when it'll end, and we know life is short and it moves quickly. We have one lifetime to knock out as many home runs and shoot as many slam dunks as humanly possible. We should not waste our time in the stands or behind the bleachers because we are concerned about making others uncomfortable. Discomfort is actually good for everyone. If you're making people uncomfortable with your talent, persistence, consistency, then you're operating your purpose, because one of two things will happen with this discomfort. Number one, you will inspire people. People will be inspired to reach their own goals and seek out their own dreams and go for what they want. You see this all the time, whether you were overweight and you got the weight off in a period of time. You inspire people. Whether, you went to college and you got your degree or you got your master's and you went through that. You're inspiring people. You see it all the time. And then on the flip side, you have people who just will become detractors or haters, as people will say. They just, whatever you do just won't matter. But those are the only two outcomes, and neither of those outcomes should make you do any less to achieve what it is you want in this life. Like, none of it affects what's meant for you. I spent so many years of my life half-assing my efforts because I didn't want to step on toes, or I didn't want to make people feel like I was trying to upstage them. I remember being a kid. My mom, she definitely wanted to instill confidence in me. She told me I was intelligent all the time. She told me I was smart. She told me I was special. She told me that I will be able to do whatever it is I wanted to do. But she also told other people the same thing about me. And so I noticed that there was a resentment that would pick up with other people as a kid. And I was like, oh, I don't like this because they resent me because of what my mom is doing, not because of me. It became this, oh, Kevin's spoiled and Kevin's this and you ain't special and you ain't this and nobody cares that you go to this school. Nobody cares that you do that. And so people built up a resentment towards me. And I'm like, but I didn't do any of this. It's my mom who's saying this and you're mad at me. So then as a kid, I started realizing like, okay, I rather please people than go after what I know I can do. So a lot of times there were times where I could have shined where I didn't shine because I didn't want to step on any toes. I didn't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. And it wasn't until I want to say my 20s that I kind of snapped out of that. I said, wait a minute, there's a lot more I want to do with my life. I don't want to fucking blend in. I don't want to be in the bleachers. I don't want to buy the concert tickets with you. I want to be on the motherfucking stage. That's what I want to do. And then I started getting more confident and more intentional on what it is that I wanted. And I stopped being afraid of telling people what it is I wanted. For example, this will be a nice little revealing moment. Like, I'm a photographer. I love photography. I love creating things. I love producing and editing. But let me tell you something else. I like being in front of the fucking camera too. I like being the person that you're taking pictures of, and I have no problem saying that. Like, I love behind the scenes stuff, but I also like being a part of the goddamn scene. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, for years, even like when I first got out of high school, and I talked about this before, like, because I didn't want to make people feel uncomfortable, or I didn't want to hear people's negative comments, I didn't go after the acting career that I wanted and still want. I didn't go after the more entertainment-based careers that I really wanted, the things I really wanted to do, because I didn't want to have those uncomfortable conversations. And now I'm like, no, I'm going to be bold. I definitely want to be an actor. I definitely want to be on television. I definitely want to be a public speaker. Definitely want to talk show. Definitely want to do print work. I definitely want to write a book. I definitely want to run a marathon. And guess what? I'm going to try to do all of these things while I'm on this earth. And I have no problem in saying that, because I'm not going to operate on how other people feel. And I don't think you should either. You have to go for what you want. Who cares on how unrealistic it sounds? Who cares on how foolish people think you look? Because guess what? Those same people who are doubting you will say they knew you and they always believed in you when you make it to the other side. It never fails. So stop dimming your light for other people. Go for what you want, no matter how crazy you think it is. We live in a time where you don't have to have something that exists for you to fit into it. You can create it. We live in a time where you can create your own platform. You can create your own space. So if there's something that is very unique about you, capitalize off that shit. That is your power. That is your power. You being you is your power. No one else can be you. And that's why you can never worry about those things. Never worry about who else is doing something similar to what you're doing. Never worry about who may steal from you or all that silly shit. Because at the end of the day, they can steal from you, but they can't steal you. We're all unique in that way, and we need to operate in that uniqueness. There's a reason why people like Cardi B are huge, and Tiffany Haddish, like, they don't follow the status quo. They don't follow what we think fame and talent should look like, but they have their own charisma, their own characteristics that make people flock to them. And I was talking to Michael Kilgore, who was on Jesus Christ Superstar last week, did a phenomenal job. We were talking about Cardi B, and he was like, you know what? I feel like there's a Cardi B glow up in all of us. And that's a real ass word. There's a Cardi B glow up in all of us. We have to go after what we want, no matter who it makes uncomfortable, no matter who says we can't do it. Fuck them. Go for your dream. Live the life that you want to live. It is so possible, but you have to believe, you have to manifest it, you have to work, you have to be consistent, and you have to be patient. But don't give up on your daydream. Go for what you want. It's okay to believe in yourself. It's okay to be confident. As my friend Dwayne Walter states, it's okay to be great. Have some confidence. Make people uncomfortable. Get the life you want today. You just may be sitting on the next big thing. And I think that's the beautiful thing about success and how you view things. A lot of times we look at things by what already exists. We're like, okay, we expect our glow up to look like the next person's glow up, when in reality, it could be something that hasn't even been created yet. Like, you could literally be the next big thing, the next big breakthrough, the next trend. And by you sitting back and not operating in that, and not cultivating that, and not refining your own personalized talent, you may be slowing down the progression that is there for you. You might be slowing down the process that is waiting for you to arrive. Go for what you want, guys. Go for what you want. Like, you will not be disappointed. Like, what do you have to lose? Like many of us, we work jobs that we don't even like, and we just go through the chain and we just keep applying to new things that we're going to hate in 2 months once the joy of having a little bit more money wears off, and we're like, I actually don't like this. It's eating away at my soul. So what do you have to lose by going after something that you actually want to do? Keep your job, sure, but work on your passions at night. Refine and cultivate your talents, man. Go for what you want. Do not quit on yourself. You may be the next big thing. Like, yeah, it's all on you. And I had to put that message out this week because I feel like it's a message that needs to be heard. And as I encourage you all, I encourage myself, because listen, manifestation is real. You just have to believe, and things will line up when the universe, God, or whatever you believe in sees fit. But you got to be ready. And if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. But yeah, that's all I got, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Outline Podcast, and I will talk to you all next week. Peace out.